This is 1680 The Crow, and you're listening to our feature presentation.
Hello and welcome to BCIT's For the Record. I'm your host, Emma Bolsner. For 30 years, Richmond Therapeutic Riding Association has been offering children and young adults who have physical or cognitive disabilities the opportunity to ride. Through 30-minute lessons, riders can improve their balance, strength, and coordination while riding a horse. The aim of the program is to help riders build confidence, gain physical exercise, and most importantly, share a bond with a horse. At Twin Oaks Farm, RTRA currently has 5 lesson horses who are reliable and patient with each rider. I spoke with Executive Director Alyssa Biglio back in May about the importance of having this program for people with disabilities.
See, turn down your center line. Use that corner to help bring them back and set them up for your center line.
I enjoy the therapeutic lessons. I do enjoy regular lessons, but this is almost more rewarding because you see a lot of progress for some of them, and you see how much they enjoy it, and it's like an activity that they have that they can't do elsewhere.
Recently, one of their longest lesson horses, named Dusty, developed colic, causing severe abdominal pain, and also can be life-threatening for a horse. Luckily, Dusty is now in recovery, but the cost of her veterinary care is a major expense. RTRA will be having a pub fundraiser on November 15th to benefit the program, horses, and riders. With me now is one of RTRA's instructors, Rachel Kirkpatrick, who will tell me more about RTRA's story and Dusty's recovery. Hi, Rachel. Thanks so much for speaking with me today.
Hi, Emma. Thanks for having me.
So tell me a little bit about RTRA and what you stand for.
Okay, well, we're Richmond Therapeutic Riding Association, and we provide therapy horseback riding lessons to children and youth with disability. And that's for people around the Richmond and the Greater Vancouver area. So we have about 40 riders in our program who come once a week, participate in about a 30-minute lesson. And it's for riders who could have either, they can have physical or mental and emotional disorders. And it helps them to, if it's physical, it can help them with their balance, their coordination, gives them a kind of sense of achievement. It gives them something that they can be in control of. And the same thing for people who have an emotional situation going on with them. It can be a break from reality, and it can give them something to look forward to.
And having that bond with an animal is so important with a horse as well, right?
It is, yeah. I mean, horses are they're a very tolerant animal, and they're very helpful in the situations that we put our riders are in. They very I think the right phrase, but they're just so tolerant is a word. They're just helpful.
Well, I think that having reliable lesson horses are quite important as well. You have 5, correct?
We do, yes. We have 5 who do our weekly lessons, and they range from they're tend to be of the older end of the spectrum of age, because by nature they're a little quieter, they're calmer, they're not too spooked by situations. They are in the smaller, they're not great big horses, because we need to have small ones that we can have volunteers who help in our program, support riders who may need to be physically supported on the horse. So we don't want great big horses, so they tend to be more ponies.
So tell me a little bit about one of your horses. She recently had colic, right?
Yes, so one of our horses who's been with the program, she's been almost here about 15 years, had a medical situation a couple of weeks ago where she did get colic, which is basically another way of saying stomach disorder. So she started to show signs of not feeling well. You could tell by looking at her. She was very lethargic. She lay down a lot. She didn't want to eat. Once you see those kind of signs, you know that you're heading into could be a serious situation, because horses when they get stomach issues, they can actually vomit, so they can't help themselves out. So we had to call the vet. Our vet came and decided that she needed to go into the hospital. So she spent 3 days in the hospital. And her prognosis at the time did not look great, but very fortunately, she did come through it, came back home, and has slowly been recovering and been reintroduced back into lessons. So we're very happy about that.
Now, that must have been really difficult, not only to see her go through that, but because she's been a lesson horse here for quite some time.
Yes, she's one of she's our horse that we use for, she's our smallest horse, so we use her for our younger riders. So it was very hard to continue with the program with her not being around for the lessons, and also the concern that if she didn't come back, how we would keep the program going, and then obviously our concern for Dusty and her well-being.
Wow, wow. Well, how has her recovery been? Is she back working again?
She's back working now. Yeah, I think she missed being in the program. She's back and gone back to her full complement of lessons. And the riders who they missed her, and they're very happy to have her back.
What do you tell the ones that ride her about her, I mean, it's a pretty scary thing, and you obviously don't wanna give them all the details, but what were they like when, they found that she was back working again?
They were concerned. Most of her riders are very young, so it's kind of, you could just tell her that she just wasn't feeling very well. She needed a little break, and that we were hoping that with the good rest that she would be back with them in a few weeks. And unfortunately, that did happen.
Now, there are challenges with finding reliable horses like Dusty and the others that are as good as they are. Has the organization been looking for a new horse when these ones get a little older?
Yes, we're always kind of on the lookout just to see if there are horses out there that could potentially fill a spot in the program. Dusty is quite old. She's of the older end. So she's due to retire probably in the next year. So we will need to have a horse that kind of meets the criteria that Dusty fills, which would be a smaller horse, very safe. And it can be hard to find because that's kind of what everybody's looking for in horses, a nice, safe horse.
Exactly, and you're also looking for one that's patient with riders of different
Hmm.
sizes and those that might, um, be different than a regular rider on them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we need horses that also can tolerate having multiple people handle them, because each day we have a different number of volunteers coming in to help. So the horses are getting used to a lot of different people. They also have to be used to having a person lead them and also have people around them, because if they're supporting the rider, either with a physical hold or just as a moral support, the horses have to be okay with having a lot going on. And they also deal with different things in lessons. We play games where we may be playing basketball, we may be carrying bean bags, we can be throwing things. They need to be able to handle that too.
Now, Dusty's vet bill was quite high. Was it what you expected, or, was it
Um,
much more?
Yes, it was in the region of what you expect for these kind of situations. And we're a non-profit, so we have budgets for situations of veterinary help, but that's more for routine vet work. This one was $4,500 for her hospital stay, so that does have to be funded, and we rely our on donations, fundraising, and grants to support the program, as well as our lesson fees. So yeah, that was a bit of a hit that we have to figure out how to pay.
So tell me a little bit about this pub fundraiser. How much are you hoping to raise for that, and will some of that go toward her veterinary bill?
Yeah, so we have a pub fundraiser that's going on at the Pioneer Pub in Richmond, and that's $25 for people to come along. They get a burger and a drink, and there's activities and auction, toonie toss that will be at the pub, and the proceeds will go into the program and will be allocated where we need it most, which at this moment will be to pay the vet bill.
Well, I hope that you're able to make the some of that money back. And are you also doing the horseshoe chocolates this Christmas?
We usually do sell horseshoe chocolates each year. It kind of depends on how much it costs us to buy the chocolates in, because prices have gone up recently. So hopefully, all being well, we will be doing a fundraiser this Christmas. But if we don't do the chocolate horseshoes, there will be something else that we will do.
And if people are interested, how can they help with donating?
If people can go, they can go to our website, which is richmondtherapeuticriding.com. They'll see on there that there's a way to donate through the website. They can also contact the office. Our email is office@richmondtherapeuticriding.com, or give us a call, 604-241-7837, to find out ways that they can donate. And also, if people would like to donate their time, we are always looking for volunteers to assist in the program. That's a big one, so we can't run without volunteer support.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Rachel, for speaking with me.
Okay, thanks, Emma.
You've been listening to For the Record. I'm your host, Emma Bolsner, for BCIT's The Crow.
The Canadian Coast Guard will be launching a new offshore oceanographic science vessel on November 13th. The CCGS Naluk Napaluk